Hi, this is Mr. Guy, and I'm going to go over market structure and the different types of competition. Students are going to be answering the questions on the study guide, and then they're going to be making an actual presentation. It could be a PowerPoint Prezi. So what are the four different types of markets? And from the study guide, the first one is perfect or pure competition. Next one is monopoly. The third one is monopolistic competition. And then the fourth one is oligopoly. What are four characteristics of perfect competition? There are many buyers and many sellers. Normally, we've done equal buyers and sellers, and there should be many, to me, is thousands or millions of buyers and sellers. There's millions of farmers, millions of buyers, so there's millions of buyers, millions of sellers. Second is there's easy entrance and exit to the business. So you can start a restaurant or start a burger joint or become a farmer or do anything to start this business. And it's real simple. It's really easy to leave. There's no extra costs on it. Third one is there's lots of information about the product, lots of information about the price, and there's easy access to information. And then it's an identical product or very, very, very similar product. In the wheat simulation, the wheat was wheat, which was wheat. So example of this market might be in farming, you might see it in stock market. I always say one of the close ones is restaurants, maybe fast food restaurants. Who controls the price? There is no control over the price. There's no control between buyers and sellers. This is really why it's very hard to say restaurants or farming. You know, who controls the price? Maybe wheat, nobody controls it, but in burgers or in pizzas, somebody does control the price. What are four types of monopolies? Give an example of each. The four types are natural monopoly, technological monopoly, government monopoly, and geographic monopoly. So not in that order. A geographic monopoly is a business that is maybe somewhere out in the boondocks, somewhere there's no other business around for 100 miles, and they can charge whatever prices they want to. I used to say a gas station in Desert Center. There's no gas station on the I-10 30 miles each direction, so they kind of have a monopoly if you're low on gas. Natural monopoly is one that just basically tends to favor one industry, like the SRP, the electric company. The telephone company normally tends to one. We had one company, AT&T. We broke it up into 14 different companies, and now they're merging, and probably in the next few years we might have one company again. Oil, steel, those were natural monopolies. Technological monopoly is one that has a patent or some kind of innovation where they're the only company that makes this product due to their research and technology. And then there's a government monopoly, and a government monopoly might be the post office. It could be the water or sewer, maybe schools would be a government monopoly. Three characteristics of a monopoly are there are prohibitive barriers to entrance into the industry. Something is stopping it. Could be legal, like a patent. Could be the money or the expertise. There's one seller, so there's only one. And then the next is basically there's no substitutes for the product. It's just that one company that can do it. And that one company has extensive control of the price. Monopolistic competition. Basically, there's competition between companies, but they don't compete on price. They compete on something else. So how do these firms compete? They might do on features or location, different things like that. In general, there's numerous buyers, millions of sellers, numerous buyers. Normally it's 5 to 20. There's lots of information. There's lots of advertising in this because the products are very similar, but they try to differentiate the products through advertising. So advertising gets this differentiation. You know, what's the difference between Circle K and 7-Eleven and Quick Trip? Well, they try to advertise and show differences that way. There's easy entrance and exit into the industry. There's information through advertising from this. These firms compete through other measures, not by price. Examples are convenience stores and movie theaters. What are two types of oligopolies? Define them and what are examples of each. An oligopoly is where 3 or 4 firms control the market and dominate the market in 75% or more. There is a differentiated oligopoly and a standardized oligopoly. Differentiated is the product is different but similar. And a standardized, the product is basically identical. So in both cases, there's 3 or 4 companies that dominate, that have 75% of the market In standardized, it's an identical product, and in a differentiated, it's a similar but different one. So an example of differentiated oligopoly, that could be auto industry and car manufacturing and breakfast cereals. One for standardized oligopoly would be oil industry or steel. What are 4 characteristics of an oligopoly? 3 or 4 firms control the market, 75% or more. There's lots of advertising. There's lots of information. There are substantial barriers, not as big as in a monopoly, but barriers to enter the industry. How many new car companies do you see? How many new oil companies or breakfast cereal companies? It's hard to get into. And the products are different or similar. So the products can be identical, but they might not be identical. They might be similar but different, and the differences are through advertising. What is price leadership? This is for an oligopoly. It's where the leader of the industry basically sets the price, or says we're going to have a 10-year warranty, or we're going to set the price and say $2,000 cash back or 0% financing, and the other 2 or 3 companies follow. Collusion is where all 3, 4 companies get together and set prices and set terms and conditions. These firms normally compete through advertising. Sometimes it's prices, sometimes it's warranty, but it's normally through advertising to get people to go to their business. Regulations that are used to restrict business could be anything from the Sherman Antitrust Act, the Clayton Antitrust Act, overtime regulations, minimum wage rules, occupational health and safety, like how to take care of your employees. Maybe there might be a regulation about hours and overtime. There's in the textbook, there's lots of regulations that you can look at that restrict business. There's also ones like the Taft-Hartley, which basically come up with right-to-work laws and right-to-work states where you don't have to join a union. You can be fired at any reason, any time, and you can quit at any time. So there's basically right-to-work laws. So for number 10, does the U.S. favor business or consumer? You need to give examples. You need to look at the different laws that are in the textbook, and you need to determine from your experience whether you think business favors consumers or business. Come up with about 3 or 4 laws to back yourself up. And I hope everybody understands these. If you have any questions, let me know, and hope the recording was good. Thank you very much. Bye now.